Though it's hard, I know I gotta keep up. No time to late, to drift away. I fill my space, I spend my time down the rabbit hole again. And as I fall, I can feel the pain. You can't tell me where to go, so I don't know, I just go with the flow. I go with the flow. I'm falling up, I'm falling down, from the sky and from the ground. Up above, just like below, and I don't know where I should go. 'Cause I'm stuck in limbo. I'm out of love, but I guess I deserved it. Trying to hide, to pass you by. I'm getting down, feeling fine. I'm light as air, no one can reach me. Lost in a dream, lost in between. Let's keep on flying, let's keep on breathing. I'm falling up, I'm falling down, from the sky and from the ground. Up above, just like below, and I don't know where I should go. 'Cause I'm stuck in limbo. Cause I'm stuck in limbo. Cause I'm stuck in limbo. down the rabbit hole again. And as I fall, I can feel the pain. You can't tell me where to go, so I don't know, I just go with the flow. I go with the flow. I'm falling up, I'm falling down, from the sky and from the ground. Up above, just like below, and I don't know where I should go. 'Cause I'm stuck in limbo. I'm out of love, but I guess I deserved it. Trying to hide, to pass you by. I'm getting down, feeling fine. I'm light as air, no one can reach me. Lost in a dream, lost in between. Let's keep on flying, let's keep on breathing. I'm falling up, I'm falling down, from the sky and from the ground. Up above, just like below, and I don't know where I should go. 'Cause I'm stuck in limbo.
Okay, good morning. Why is this so much behind? I think we might have, maybe the internet is not the strongest today. Seems a bit sluggish. Good morning there. Let's see here now if I can get... Is the stream working good for you guys? I think it's just for me here when I'm trying to watch my own stream. It seems like it's a little bit laggy maybe. Okay, probably okay now. First we can measure a little bit the oats we got here in the dryer, see what it is. See how wet or dry it is. Maybe this guy or the other guy. Measure it a little bit and then, I mean, we got a few drops of rain already, so it's good that we harvested the oats yesterday. Probably could not harvest today. But we can just take a quick, measure each one here. See what they are. See what the moisture is. Our specialty tool. Measure what the moisture is like. Take some of this. There's definitely some thistles in there, otherwise it's actually pretty clean. Combine did a good job otherwise. But yeah, now when we dry it here, the thistles are going to kind of pop open, and then we can, when we run them through the hot air grain dryer, then it will remove a lot of the trash. Okay, it's about 16% for oats. It's pretty good. There was some green seeds in there, so that's raising it up. Otherwise, it would probably be under 15. But yeah, 16 for that. We can measure all these different things, see what they are. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think without the little bit of stuff that germinated later, it would probably be under 15. Just needs a little bit of drying. I can see there's a few green seeds in there. Those probably raise up the moisture a little bit. But yeah, you want it as dry as possible from the field, of course. Yeah, this one is, it's what you choose. This one is 14. I guess I didn't get any green seeds in there with this one. 14, that's pretty good. when we sell it, it needs to be, like technically it needs to be under 14, but we usually dry it to under 13, because if it's right on the, like if it's too wet, then you send a truckload to the place, then they measure it, and then if it's too much, then they will just send it back to you. And then you pay for the shipping both ways. So we usually dry it to like under 13, maybe closer to 12. Because when it just sits, then it's also gonna usually go up a little bit. This is the stuff on this side. I think this is the stuff we harvested yesterday. And then on the other side we can measure the stuff we harvested 2 days ago. Yeah, this is like 14. It's pretty dry. It's good if you can get everything harvested under 15. That's pretty good. Then we just need to dry it like a couple of percent and get the thistle seeds sorted out, which should be good. We're gonna have it here for a few days in the cold air dryer. Just when you blow the air through slowly, then you can have a good chance of getting the thistles to kind of dry out, the thistle heads. And then when we run it through the hot air dryer where the grain is moving all the time and the air is blowing through it, then it will clean out all the junk. When we deliver, we have to pay for that they dry it. Yeah, that's the other option. Some people do it here too. Then of course you don't need any grain dryers, but then you instead pay a little bit when you get rid of it. Here most people have their own grain dryers, but I mean some people, if you live close to where they have like some of the bigger places where they accept, oh let's adjust that again, where they accept grain, then they also have like a grain dryer, then you can just take it there. But yeah, we have this old cold air dryer, then we rent neighbors' hot air dryer. This was harvested on Wednesday, I think, on this side. This is again, yeah, 15 and a half. It's good. The worst we had once was we harvested some wheat in October, and it was like 35%, 40% almost. That was not nice to dry. Oops. And we could also try to measure how heavy this is. If we have, I don't know if we have the measuring thing for that here. Yeah, because then it was like in October, it's the weather outside is so wet that we couldn't really dry it much here in the cold air dryer. So we had to put it all straight through the hot air grain dryer. So we burned too much diesel there. This is again 14. It seems to be from 14 to 15, like the actual grain. And then the some green seeds make it a little bit more. But yeah, the weather should mostly be like over 20 degrees every day. So I think even here in the cold air dryer we can get it a little bit dried, and then the rest in the hot air dryer. There went the thistle seed in there, I think. But yeah, the seeds look okay. It looks like pretty yellow. It did rain a week ago on this grain a little bit, but the weight would be interesting to know, like how heavy it is. Yeah, there we had like a piece of thistle in there. Now it says like 16, 17. So it's good to get those green parts dried up a little bit more. But yeah, basically 15. It's around 15. I think we just like a half an hour ago it rained a little bit, so we shut down the dryer here, but I think these three are open now, so we can probably start the fan up here soon. I'm gonna see if we have the other measuring thing here to measure the weight. These oats, they have usually been pretty heavy, like, what was it, 600 kilos per cubic meter, or even more. Does it matter if you take the sample from the surface or deeper from the grain storage? Well, here it matters, like when we fire up the dryer now, it will blow, like it will take air from the outside, then it blows it up through the grain from the bottom. That means when it starts to dry, the bottom layer starts to dry first. So the surface is always the wettest part. It's going to be drier deeper down, at least after you have dried it a little bit. You'll hear it soon. We'll fire up the fan here. Then it starts to dry, then air comes through the grain. But yeah, it's always, with a cold air dryer like this where the grain doesn't move, the surface is always the wettest. Deeper down it's drier. But yeah, I don't know where we have the, there's another thing where you can measure how heavy the grain is. We'll have to do that some other day. It's like a red thing where you measure how heavy it is. These are just to measure how dry it is. It must be somewhere else. But yeah, we can go take a look what the moisture in the air is now. Then if it's dry enough, then we can fire up the fan. Yeah, when you measure the surface, that's always the worst part. The rest is going to be drier. It's a good day today. Now it's windy, but there was a few drops of rain a little bit ago. You can see we got a thing here measuring the moisture. Then I should show you, it's like if the air is certain heat and certain dryness, then the drier it is, the drier it will drain, or the more it will dry the grain there. So if it's raining, then we shut off the fan, because then it's gonna actually make it wetter. Now it says it's 21 degrees and moisture of the air is 74%. I guess we're gonna wait a little bit. When that's more like 70%, then we can fire it up. So yeah, today no sun, but it's still pretty good. Should be pretty good. We can like fire up the fan there, but it's kind of right at the edge now. Now it's 73% moisture. I guess we could fire it up. I have like another thing where you can see, like, if the air is 73%, it will dry the grain down to like 15%, I think, or something. And it's 22 degrees, that will also improve it a little bit. But yeah, I think we can fire it up. Then you can hear how it sounds when it's running. And the air should only become drier now further the day goes, as long as it doesn't rain. If it starts to rain, then we shut this thing off. And then when this is running, then we can do some other things. Yeah, it's here. Then we press the button, then the fan goes. Then we can go up here and see. You can't really see it, but you can actually feel when the air comes through the grain. And you can hear the big fan I showed in a few streams earlier. Like inside there now there's a fan pushing air in there, and it goes under and up through the grain. You can feel the air that's here. It smells like grain now. If you put your hands here, you can kind of feel air coming up. Not super fast, but there is air coming up. So now it will slowly dry the grain. And especially it will dry those green bits that were in there. The grain itself was all. Yeah, now we can need to do some garden things in the meantime. What tool might be best there? We could try shovel works for sure, but maybe a rake and a shovel and we should get it done. So yeah, here we got some weeds growing in the gravel. I kind of want to remove those. It should be kind of a straight line out here, and all this should just be gravel. Why is the stream kind of lagging here if I watch it? So the stream is good for you guys. It's weird when I watch my own stream here. It kind of gets a lot behind for some reason. Maybe it's just my app here. Encoder seems to be doing okay. Oh, now it's not okay. That was all oats, yeah. We have harvested now almost all the oats. I had to leave some bad parts where the oats was still green, but probably like 97% of oats is harvested. So now we can just dry it, and then at some point when the green parts are dried up there, then we can take it over to you can see the white building there, that's the hot air grain dryer. Then we'll finish it off there, the drying, and store it there. I'm gonna restart my app here. It seems weird. Seems like there's like a huge delay on the stream for some reason. Maybe it's just on my end. Yes, except there around which a drunk combine harvester driver forgot. Yeah, those parts we had to leave. But yeah, we're not really in a rush to continue because the wheat is still not nearly ready, so we need to wait a little bit for the wheat. But that's the next thing. Probably, yeah, maybe next week we can start thinking about the wheat. But yeah, let's see. Can we maybe rip these weeds out with just this guy? Or do we need some bigger tools? Yeah, that's kinda working, but not really working. I think we might just have to dig it up. Dig it up with the shovel. I could try using the weeding tool, but I don't know if that one goes in the ground too well here. Might just have to use it like this to get the weeds out, I think. And then smooth out the gravel afterwards. Yeah, it's like a little bit here, and then I guess out to here. Here's a little bit out here. Should be able to do it like this. I have kind of let it grow too much. If I would kill the weeds when they're really small like this, then it would be easier. But I have just forgot to do that. It is weird. Don't know what that weed is called. It seems to be able to grow on just gravel. Should be able to rip it out like this. Then we'll rake it in the end so it looks better again. I think the gravel goes all the way to here. There's no side here if I can rip this up. The weeds always grow there, even if it's, as soon as you don't walk on it like all the time and a lot, then the weeds seem to find a place there to grow. Damn weeds. But yeah, luckily the most of the area is pretty clean. It's just a little bit here and a little bit here. Yeah, that would have helped. That would have helped if you put some sort of tarp or plastic underneath the gravel. But yeah, who does that? When we did this, we dug the dirt away like maybe 5 centimeters and then put like a lot of gravel there. And it's been pretty good, but yeah, after some time the weeds kind of try to come in. But yeah, as long as you cut them off like that at least once a year, then it stays pretty good. I just forgot that area for a little while. Yep. If I would just leave it and there would be no one here, then it would be the grass would just go over it eventually. I thought about when we did this, I thought about putting like not pavement but like bricks on it. I don't know what they're called, like pavers maybe. But they're pretty expensive. Like even an area like this, if you put pavers on all this, it's pretty expensive. So we just put some gravel on there. Turn it upside down. As soon as you get all the weeds in the air like this, they will dry away. This one actually, right here, this one you can actually eat. It tastes like salty grass. I guess we're gonna do that part. This is pretty fine here. Then we'll just do a little bit there. And it should be good. Just plow it a little bit, turn it upside down. Now that part is pretty good. Now we just need, I'm probably gonna try to do this whole edge all the way out to the road and then the other part there. But yeah, this is good. It's kind of good exercise. Last 2 days we've been sitting in the combine, so nice to get some sort of exercise now. Some sort of exercise. I should have another shovel that's like shaped like this. It would be a little better for this, but I didn't know where I had one of those, so we'll just use this guy now. Yeah, I much prefer things like this. Riding a bike, cross-country skiing in the winter. I don't really go to the gym too much. I have like, in the barn there I have like a thing you can train like, pretty much like cross-country skiing without the skis. But other than that I don't really do workouts with like that, with like weights and stuff too much. Yeah, there you can see if I dig deeper, there's like gravel underneath. There's just the grass on the surface. Oh, this shovel might not last. Hello there, Angie. This could be a little struggle here. There's a lot of weeds right there. Need to make that pretty, try to keep it kind of straight out here. Then the other side is like there. Make it look a little bit better. Edge cutter would be best. I don't have any type of edge cutter. This will work, shovel will work. It's just this guy, then it's good. There's, yeah, for sure, if you're a gardener or something, there's probably a tool for this too. But we're just using the universal tool. Universal shovel tool. Sort out most of the weeds and then we can, with the rake it at the end. Then it should be pretty good. Like there you can see there's definitely nice gravel underneath. There's just this mess on top. Then we'll do the other side, then clean this, and then take all that grass away. It's nice that it's not 30 degrees today. It was really hot yesterday when we were harvesting. Now it's kind of nice and cloudy. And some wind also, so much better weather. Do we have animals? No, just the fields and the forests. No animals. Unless you count the worms and the insects and all those guys. I mean, we have a bunch of those. Hello there, Mark. 30 to 35 degrees, oh man. Yeah, this would be a struggle in that heat. For sure it would be a struggle. What kind of forest? It's mostly like pine and spruce. If you know those trees. But yeah, the forest we mainly grow it to sell logs. And like pulpwood, and then of course we take a little bit as firewood too. But yeah, we will at some point we will do like forest streams again. We might soon if when we get the harvesting done we can go and see if there's like some lingonberries in the forest. Then we'll see how the forests look here. No, it's the farm owns it. So yeah, pretty much we own the forest. I'm going to cut this and then get rid of this stuff. There were problems with bark beetles. Very much so, very much. We have like this spring we had to clear cut, like it was just a small area, like half a hectare, because you could see that the bark beetles were coming in there, like there were already like 10 dead trees. So yeah, we definitely have problems with bark beetles here. If you have old spruce forests, those are in big danger here. Do we get any permission about cutting trees from government? No, you don't need any permissions. Like there's some rules, like if you do a clear cutting, then you need to make sure that there's new trees coming up. But there's no rules about like, can I go there and cut that tree? If I want to do it, I can cut the tree down. No permission needed. I guess when you sell to somebody or when you sell yourself, they do like a thing where they put it in a database that okay, this area was cut, or this area was thinned, or this area was planted, but it's basically for statistics. But yeah, I mean the forest, it kind of starts here, but this is still like the garden. But then like just 50 meters there is the forest already. But there's like close to the farm here we have like a little birch forest. So it's basically just birch there. But further like that way when you go, it's like a lot of forest that way. When you see sometimes when I do the bike rides, then we go with like there's a logging road that goes straight into the forest there, and we can ride like probably like 3-4 kilometers just straight through a forest, just forest everywhere. But yeah, the forest is actually what I went to school for. So even if we do farming, then the forest is exactly the thing I should know something about actually. It's quite a long time since I went to school for that, but should still know some things. When do you cut those trees? Best time is in the winter. So yeah, this winter there will be some chainsaw streams, because we need a little bit of firewood. So yeah, if you're into chainsaw streams, we will do that here too at some point. But yeah, it's in the forest, it's so much nicer to go there like late fall or winter when it's cooler. Now it's way too hot to go in the forest. Way too hot and way too many bugs. When we go in the winter, there is no bugs and it's like good temperature. Because yeah, if you think this is heavy work, then if you're swinging around a chainsaw for a day, for like 8 hours, that's a proper workout. Hello there, Bedo. Will you possibly reforest with other tree species besides spruce or pine? Mostly we plant spruce, pine, birch, because the forest in Finland, in a natural state, they are like 90% those tree species. And then we have some other species like aspen, alder, but those are already like pretty rare. So yeah, for the forest we have here, there isn't like 70 species of trees. It's like mainly tree, and then we have, I guess technically we have, I think it's between 15 and 20 different species of trees. Like officially, I think. And then there's like a lot of trees that are not considered trees, they're considered like bushes. But yeah, it's not like a jungle here where we would have like hundreds and hundreds of different kind of trees. Good morning there, Danger. But yeah, for sure, like if we have in the forest, when we do a clear cut, we always leave like all the alders, all the aspen trees, like rowan trees, like you can see here. Those are good. Those we always leave because they are good for the diversity of the forest. But yeah, all those trees like pine, spruce, birch, those are all native here. If you go to a forest somewhere that hasn't been touched at all for like hundreds of years, it's gonna be pine, spruce and birch here. That's the native trees over here. So it's very natural. For us it's natural. I know in some places it's like like a big problem if you like plant a couple of tree species, then they're like, oh no God, this is not natural. It is pretty natural here. Of course, in a jungle, if you go to the Amazon somewhere and just plant one tree there, then that's not natural. But here it's completely natural. We have the boreal forest here. It's different than the jungle and other areas. But yeah, of course it's good to be as diverse as possible. But if I would start to plant, like, let's say, some coconut trees here, it wouldn't go very well because the coconut trees would all die. So you can't plant trees that won't grow here, or at least there's not much. There's not a lot of point in that. But yeah, I don't know, in central, like Europe, maybe it's a little bit more diverse there. It depends. Not an expert on those forests. Okay, a little bit left here, this corner, then we can start to rake this and get it in good shape. If the coconut trees don't survive, why not try banana plants? Probably if you ask Greenpeace or somebody, they probably tell you that I should plant lemon trees and banana trees here. Sounds like a very good idea. Classic things. But yeah, I guess we can take a look. I have a few like more rare trees here. We can take a look at those actually. Like in the garden here, we got a few more rare trees that can grow here, but not commercially. Like this tree right here, this is, I believe that's the, let's see if I can remember the names of these. This is the one that grows very well in North America. The Douglas fir. I don't believe it. Yeah, maybe it's Douglas fir. I'm so bad with the names, I don't remember, but we have one of those here. It can grow, but it's not really planted in like forests. And then here we got like an ash tree. Kinda grows here. Yeah, Douglas fir, so it's not commercially planted here, but like in a garden you can have it. And then we have these. This I don't remember what this was. This seems to be growing pretty well here. It's probably, yeah, I don't remember. Once I bought like all kinds of different trees that you can grow here. That's one of them. It's also one of the weird ones. And then here we got another one. This I remember. This is like Macedonia pine. This one right here. So a different species of pine. Macedonian pine. I guess it comes from Macedonia then. But yeah, there's like not super far away from here, there's like a tree park where they have like probably like 50 different species of trees. Some grow better and some barely survive in our climate here. But yeah, there's just a few of the more rare trees. Rowan tree, yeah, rowan tree, it's this guy. I should try chestnut. I don't know if chestnut survives here. This is rowan tree. It's got a lot of berries this year. A lot of these orange ones. If you want something sour, these are super sour. You can eat them, but pretty much need to add like 50% sugar. But yeah. A lot of berries on these. There's a saying, like the old people used to say, like if there's a lot of berries in these trees, there's not gonna be a lot of snow in the winter. I don't know if it holds true, but it's kind of like a saying. Hello there, Frank. And then we got, this is juniper tree. This I forgot to mention. This is also natural to the area here. Juniper tree. Man, it seems to have like a lot of berries this year. These ones you can also eat. They're super, pretty tasty, pretty strong taste in these. Really strong taste. I don't know how I would describe it. Kind of good taste. It tastes almost like blueberries, but not like blueberries. Like blueberries mixed with spruce needles. Something like that. But yeah, for sure these you can eat. And of course you can eat those too. Just super sour. But yeah, you could. I mean, these are pretty tough to harvest since the bush is like full of needles, so you gotta, I don't know how you would harvest it. You would have to have gloves on for sure. But yeah, you could, those you could eat. These berries you can eat. There's a lot of stuff you could eat. Many acres in a harsh winter. Yeah, it's many places have these kinds of sayings, like if it's gonna be a lot of snow or not a lot of snow. I don't know how well they work, but I mean they gotta be right sometimes, I think. But yeah, once we get this finished here, we can go actually just walk in the forest a little bit, like in a proper forest. See how it looks there. Okay, now the weeds should be loose. It's just a basic shovel. If this would be the shape of like this, then it would be called like a pistolapio in Finnish. This is just like a square one. But yeah, now all the weeds are ripped out, or most of them I think. Now we can just take them out and then it should be a nice path again. Maybe these are not ripped out yet. I think now we can use a rake for better results. Getting ready for a grilling stream. Maybe the grill is right there. Just need to put some meat in it. Gotta prep the soil here first. Get rid of these weeds. And now I think the rake works well. Get the roots out. Yeah, and that shovel, I don't know if this is Fiskars. We have this one brand that's really good, it's from Finland. I don't know if this is Fiskars. Could be, might not be, I don't know. But I have another one somewhere that's the shape of like this. And that's a Fiskars shovel, and those are very, very good. I had one of those shovels, it was a metal like, the whole thing here was metal. Then once I put it in the ground, tried to like bend back, then the shovel just bent and broke. It was not the Fiskars. It was probably some sort of like Chinese shovel or something. Couldn't do anything with that one. It was probably meant for loose snow only. Grass is growing good. Hopefully not here. There it can grow, here no. No grass. No grass, please. Those were still attached. But yeah, I found a pretty good way now. I'm gonna try to keep this so it doesn't grow. Once you kill them when they're small, then it's a lot easier. Just do it like that. Cut off all the roots, and then you rake it back. Then it's good. Chinesium, yeah, that shovel was definitely made out of Chinesium, which is it's the weakest metal ever. Might be still some attached there. And we'll probably need to take the wheelbarrow to shovel this grass somewhere. Get it out of here. Those are still attached, we have to give them the shovel treatment. And just a little bit there, then we're done with this pretty much. This job, then we can do some other stuff again. Just have a bunch of these smaller projects for today. As long as it doesn't start to rain, then we can do this It was kind of in the forecast that it might rain later today. Like just a little bit. I think we can go after the wheelbarrow and just throw that grass in the wheelbarrow now. Get rid of it. If you do this early enough before the weeds get bigger, then you can actually just do it with the rake like this. This would kill the weeds if you do it early enough, but yeah, who does it early enough? Not me for sure. So now when we do it a little bit later, we have to do a little bit more work. But that's how it goes sometimes. Quite often actually. Just put it in here and dump it somewhere. Dump the damn grass. Is Sampo a Finnish agricultural machinery? Yep, it's a Finnish combine brand. I don't think they make anything else. They make combines, yeah. I don't think they do. They don't do any other type of machinery, I think. But yeah, combines they do for sure. To this day, we have our Sampo is a pretty old one, but they still make new ones, modern combines. I don't know what their biggest one is. It's probably, at least they make ones that are like the cutter bar is. Maybe they make 10-meter wide ones. At least like 6 or 8 meter ones. I don't know what their biggest model is. But yeah, they definitely make combines that are, I would say, big enough for us here in Finland. And they probably do export them too to some countries. Never heard of Sampo. Yeah, I mean, they make combines. I don't know to which countries they export and stuff. Probably it's not like a super big brand. So it's not like John Deere that everybody knows. Yeah, for combines I would say like, what are the big brands? Probably John Deere. New Holland is pretty common here in Finland. Depends. In some countries it's probably some other brands, but John Deere is like, John Deere combines, those are pretty much like everywhere, or you can see them everywhere. I mean, Massey Ferguson, they do combines too. Fendt, I think there's Fendt combines. There's a lot of manufacturers that do combines. Yeah, Claas is pretty, that's an old brand. Okay, it's looking pretty good here, I think now. Fendt and Massey Ferguson's new one should be the same. Yeah, and then that's one thing. I think it's even more common in the tractors, like what is it? New Massey Ferguson tractors and Fendt tractors. They have like the same engine, same gearbox. So they have like a lot of the same parts. I think the biggest difference is probably like the cabin is completely different. But the actual mechanical parts, like, I wouldn't say it's the same tractor, but a lot of the parts are the same. So occasionally you get somebody say that, yeah, Fendt is best, Massey Ferguson is complete shit. New tractors, they're the same thing. They're the same thing almost. So can't argue too much. I mean, there are some differences, of course, but it's not like back in the day when every brand was like completely different. Yeah, I think we're pretty good here. Take the tools away, put that thing back. Do some other things. Deutz engines in different machines, yeah. It's one thing like the Valtra tractors, like the same engine that they have in Valtra, they have also in a lot of other tractors, I think. And those engines are actually, they're even made in Finland, which is like shocking these days when everything is like made in China. Where did we take this one? This one was probably maybe there. This guy was there. Hello there, Yankee X. And just dump these here, then we can go do a little walk here in the forest. It's nice and windy day, so not many bugs in the forest. And just dump these dump this grass here where we dump all the other branches and random stuff that's not wanted in the yard somewhere. But yeah, here's like the closest forest, I guess, to the farm. This is basically just birch here. We planted birch here like, what is it now, 20 years ago. Probably make the camera a little bit higher when we're just walking about. Can do a little walk about here. Love birch, yeah, it's pretty. And this birch forest, like it was planted 20 years ago, I already thinned this out once, so we already, a few years ago, we removed some trees already. It was beginning to be too dense, so we already got like firewood from this area, even if it's planted just 20 years ago. I mean, yeah, 20 years is a long time, but for a forest it's not that long time actually. But yeah, birch there. Here we got pine, spruce on the other side. All the most common trees here, if someone is interested what the most common trees here are. Birch, spruce, this is, I think, this is the most common tree in Finland, pine. Then spruce is the next common one. Those are almost like 90% of stuff already. And then we got birch and other trees after that. Some Rosenley is also available in Germany. Yeah, they probably export, like they're a pretty big company, so they probably do a lot of countries. Planting trees is next level. Yeah, we have planted a lot of trees on our farm. What would I say? We have done like a lot of clear cut, we have a lot of old forest that need to be like replanted. So we have planted on our farm, we have planted probably like 30,000 trees in the last 15 years maybe. Now we have a longer forest around. It works here. Okay. What was that sound? Did you hear that? Was it from here? Crazy all the come back. It's not the greatest here. Forest. Okay, we're back. I think we're back. Yeah, it's a really bad part there. One of the few places on the farm where there is no internet connection really. I think it's worse when there's leaves in the trees. Yeah, we can walk a little bit further here. Go out in the field. I think it's a little better there. A little sketchy inside here. I can walk here on this road a little bit over there and then check some areas that we planted pretty recent or just a few years ago. Very rocky ground. Yeah, the most of the areas that are not a field are not a field because they're too rocky. That's the main reason why this isn't fields here. It's pretty full of boulders. You can go up there, somewhere here over the ditch. But yeah, if that was rocky ground, I can show you really rocky ground. I can show you guys really rocky ground here. Where do we go over the ditch here? Maybe somewhere here. Maybe somewhere here. Not a lot of risk of getting your feet wet because the ditches are just dry to the bottom. It's been so dry. Yeah, here we planted, these are planted just 4 years ago, I think here. Birch here, and then we planted like spruce up on the hill. Then there's of course a bunch of natural trees that just come in on their own too. Here the connection is usually better when you go up on the hill at least. But yeah, here we planted spruces, so those are planted. This one came in naturally here. We did not plant any pine here, but nature always finds a way to add in more trees. It's usually not a problem to get a new forest started. But yeah, this is pretty rocky if you see here. Like there's no way you could farm this, so it's better to just have it in forest or as forest. Not possible to farm this. But trees still grow here decently. You can see from the old stumps, the old trees grew to be pretty big here. Do we still have raspberries here? We do have a few. We picked some raspberries. There's a raspberry. Still find some yummy raspberries. Because rocky subsoil is only possible to work with a winch from the skid tracks or to carry it. So this area, it was clear cut with machines. So they have those machines that have they usually have I think 6 wheels or 8 wheels. And they're actually they can drive up here. Like the forester machines, they just drove up here. On the little bit more flat areas, they can just drive over these rocks. With just the normal tractor, you would be struggling. I mean, I guess here you could come up in the middle here, but over there you can't drive with a normal forestry tractor. Or a normal tractor. But yeah, the forestry machines, they were able to drive here all over the place. Not an issue. Like they drove probably up here and they could grab these trees. Then they probably maybe drove from here over there. A skid steer and such machines with the big tires, or yeah, it's the method used in Finland. It's like a harvester and then a forwarder. The skidding method is really not used in Finland. But yeah, the machines, they have big wheels and tracks on them too. So they, even terrain like this, they can drive over it. Like they try to drive, of course, on the flatter areas, but they can't drive over a rock like this, but they can go around here. And they found enough paths here to be able to log this. But this is really the worst here. Like this is like almost just rocks here. All the other areas are a little bit more flat. But yeah, this is really rough up here. It's like up on the hill here. It's just boulder and boulder and boulder and boulder here. Yeah, Ponsse. Ponsse is that's also a Finnish brand. They make the forestry equipment or big forestry machines. I don't remember the guy that did this logging. I don't know. I think the forwarder was a Ponsse. The logging machine or the harvester might have been like a Valmet. I don't think that was a Ponsse. But yeah, Ponsse makes all kinds of machinery. All kinds of forestry machinery. But yeah, even here you can see just boulders. But this tree, you can see it grew this much this year. So it's still surprisingly growing surprisingly well here. It was a dry year, not the best for trees either, but I mean, they're growing pretty well. Considering the soil isn't the best here for sure. But yeah, there's a lot of we one day we came here, picked like raspberries. That's a raspberry bush right there. It's too late for the raspberries now. There's nothing left, but there was quite a bit of them here earlier. But yeah, we can go back and down over the field there. Then the connection should hopefully not cut out as much as in the forest there. But yeah, up here on the hill you can get kind of a nice view of the fields here. It's much higher than the fields, so bunch of fields here, and then there's pretty much like forest all around it, so it's like a sea of fields in the middle, and then like thousands of hectares of forest around. Rowan tree, that's a aspen tree behind there. All kinds of different trees. Do we grow the replanted trees ourselves, or do you buy them from a tree nursery? We buy them from a tree nursery. They're usually about this tall, like they grow them from a seed at a tree nursery for 1 to 2 years, and then you can buy them and then plant them in the forest. But yeah, this very nice clover field. It's actually started to grow a little bit now when we got a little bit of rain. Ground is still very hard, but at least some moisture in there. $30,000 tree, a lot of money, I guess. Long term, there's a little bit of money, but of course the big thing with trees is when you plant them, it's a long-term investment, since it takes at least 20 years, 25 years before you get anything back. So it's a long-term investment. So when you do a clear cut, so sure you can get some money, but you have to wait like 50, 60 years before the trees are big. But yeah, it always looks nice to have some younger, healthy forests that are growing like crazy. Yep, generational investment. You need to be able to think like long term, which in today's world seems to be a big struggle. A lot of the time it's like if somebody can't get instant return on investment, then they're like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, long term for sure it's better to have trees growing than not have trees growing. And like one thing that also, like the trees, when you have, as long as you have trees growing, then they will store a lot of like carbon from the atmosphere or from the air. So that should be good. Less carbon in the air. Yeah, let's take our wheelbarrow back and then we can go in the garden, do some things in the garden. Need to harvest a little bit in the garden, small scale. But yeah, here's one usage of the wood, like firewood. We don't need much, we just, on the farm here, we just heat one building, so we don't need much, but yeah, a little bit of firewood. A little bit of firewood is needed. Do I extract birch sap for the birch trees? I have tried it on a few trees in the garden, but just tried. But it's really cool. I mean, if you ask me what's the cleanest water I've ever drank, it was birch sap from one of those trees up on the hill there. Very, very, it's like when you tap a birch, get the birch sap, it's pretty much like water, like super clean water, plus, and then there's like a tiny bit of sugar in it. But it's just clean water. It's been filtrated by the tree roots. Oh, that one we can take. That pole needs to go out of here too. Take a little break here. Need to harvest some things then. Oh. Coconut water also supposed to be extremely pure. It should be. I mean, if you think about how a tree sucks up water from the ground, the water needs to pass through like really tiny microscopical small holes to get inside the tree roots. So it should be really clean. Nature's own way of cleaning water really well. So if I would have to like try to describe the birch sap, what it tastes like water, but no, like tasteless water, and then a slight hint of sugar. Very, very slight hint of sugar. But there's no like aftertaste. Whatever water you drink, there's always like a little aftertaste. Like it always tastes like something. So it's yeah, for sure the cleanest water I've ever drank. Even possibly cleaner than the well water here, which is already like pretty clean. But yeah, we have some things we can harvest here today. Probably some parsley and dill just for if I want to eat something, and then we can take a look at the corn. I'm not sure if the corn is ready to pick yet. It should be pretty soon ready to pick. It's sweet corn, so it should be ready to pick soon. And then soon we can harvest potatoes and onions too. Once the soil dries up even more, then I think it's good to harvest those. Yeah, we can cut a little bit of dill and parsley. Maybe there's some mini tomatoes we can harvest too. These beans aren't ready, I think, yet. But yeah, pretty massive beans. I don't know what variety this is, but it produces these humongously big pods. Grab a little parsley. Yeah, this parsley and dill is pretty good to just put on when you eat some kind of meat. You can just chop this down and adds a little bit of taste to the meat. The dill is getting pretty old, so there's not too much we want to harvest from here. Beans are growing so many vines here that I can't even walk through here anymore. vines everywhere. So yeah, this deal is kind of getting old. Pretty much the edible parts is, let's see if we can find anything that you want to eat. Pretty much this part is the edible part. I'm probably just gonna cut all these down soon. When they get old, there's not really, it's not that tasty anymore. Some of these pieces you can eat. Just a little dill. The dill tastes better when it's like a little younger. But it's okay. These upper parts, like these are really, they're pretty like strong taste, but I don't know. Don't really want to eat these too much. Wish there was a smell vision on Twitch. Then you could smell what this smells like, what the parsley smells like and things. Yeah, not much here. It's mostly just the stalk at this time of the year. Getting kind of old. This stuff is pretty good to eat still. Whoops. Let's try to stay upright. Yeah, I guess we got some dill, some parsley now. Might find some like this. I believe this is like leek, so you should probably like eat like almost these leaves or the thing that's in the ground. Haven't harvested them yet. Carrots, same thing. Carrots we probably can start harvesting soon. Yeah, they're pretty massive. So I think we can start to harvest these soon. Then we got the mini tomatoes. These are really good, really sweet tomatoes. Pretty small, but I call them mini tomatoes. We got normal tomatoes over there, but they're still green. Then we can take a look at the corn. Damn mosquitoes. It's pretty windy. Shouldn't be too many mosquitoes. There was one. Yeah, there's a lot of tomatoes here, but they're still completely green here. Needs more time. Needs more time before we eat those. But then the corn, yeah, we can take a look at the corn. I don't think the corn is ready yet. Like I opened one here. You can still see that the kernels are they're getting like a little bit yellow there. I think we can still wait a little bit. Maybe open another one here. It's getting there. There's no sweet corn how long you should wait, but I mean this is definitely getting there. And I think we need to wait super long, then we can eat just a few of those. Should be interesting. I have never grown corn before, or at least not successfully. Now it seems like we might get some cobs actually, which would be a first. How are these guys doing? This should be chili plants. They're really slow to grow. They're maybe soon gonna start to produce something. Maybe these guys need some water. These are the only ones that I really have in pots, because when it gets too cold outside, I'm gonna probably take these guys maybe indoors. Try to see if we can grow them indoors when it's colder. There we have a couple of rows of potatoes ready to be dug up. Same with onions. And then a bunch of strawberries here. But yeah, even on a balcony you can grow a lot of things. Like as long as you have just a little bit of room, some sunlight, then you can definitely grow things. Oh, why is there's still a strawberry here? Oh yeah, look at this. That's a weird time of the year to have strawberries, but there's a couple of strawberries here. Strawberry season was like a month and a half ago. Still found 2 strawberries. Woohoo! Yummy. They shouldn't really be producing any berries at this time of the year, but there was a couple there. But yeah, next year I think these will produce a lot of strawberries. Late comer, yeah, for sure. Couple months too late. But yeah, we got some stuff here. Dill, parsley, a few mini tomatoes harvested now. A lot of this stuff, the rest of the stuff needs to grow a little bit. But yeah, soon, if it stays dry like this, then the potatoes, onions, carrots we can harvest pretty soon. Just dig them out and let them dry a little bit and then put them in the root cellar. And these crazy beans, I call these. I don't know. I don't know what this is. Like this bean is like 40 centimeters tall. I know there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like 5 or 6 beans in there, but this pod is like massive. Never had beans like this before. There's a bunch of these crazy tall beans in there. Snake bean. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have the package left. I don't know what this is called, but I mean it's starting to get thick here, so it's filling some beans inside there. But the pod is like massive. I had some beans earlier, but the pod was like this long. It's like like peas, but this is like huge bean. Huge one. That pole we can bring out of here. I just left it here at some point. Don't need this anymore. with this back storage. See here, how's the wheat looking? Yeah, when we go inside the building there, it always not good connection there. So yeah, here, for any new viewers, I did a little test here this year. So right here where this red one is, about 6 meters wide and 20 meters out there. There's like a square here, but you can probably see it looks a lot better than the other stuff. This year was a really dry year, so already from the spring I wanted to do a test. I'm gonna irrigate a small area, see what the difference is. There's a big difference. Irrigated, non-irrigated. Just a small area, because I don't have the irrigation equipment. I just used my garden irrigator here. But you can clearly see like this is good. I would be very happy if everything would look like this. But then you see the other stuff here is like horrible. Rest of the field is not good at all. But yeah, right here it's looking pretty good. We can see how the kernels look. There's one right there. One wheat kernel. It's getting, the kernels are getting hard. I'm pretty sure we have to look at the other big field, but I think next week we might be harvesting wheat. If the other field is anything like this here. Gotta do some harvesting in the hand here. Do the same thing that the combine does. Get the seeds out and then blow some air. Clear the light stuff off. Then we end up with some wheat. Yeah, this is summer wheat or spring wheat. Yeah, if I chew on this, right here, it's pretty dry actually. Probably under 20%. But yeah, we tried a little bit different thing on this small field. We plowed it in the spring and then seeded, but that was when it was a really dry start of the year. It's like a worst, really bad time to try that out. Luckily the other field that's much bigger, we plowed in the fall and then just seeded in the spring, so that's better there. But around here it's like horrible. Just here where I did irrigation, mini irrigation area, here it's good. And then here you can see like bad soil plus no irrigation this year. Like nothing, almost nothing here. Is winter autumn wheat common in your region? Yeah, some people do it. Like my neighbor, he did it over there. And that also was horrible. It didn't, I don't know how well it survived the winter, but then it didn't like it when it was so dry this summer. He combined those two fields. They got I think they got like 1,000 kilos per hectare or something, so it was really crappy. Pretty similar to this here, really crappy. It was such a crappy year this year. Some farmers around here said that it was the worst start to the season in like 50 years. So you can clearly see it on this field. Probably the worst wheat field we have ever had. With irrigation I could have saved it, but I don't have irrigation equipment, nor do I have a well that probably can provide enough water. But yeah, with irrigation, I mean, this is good. Right here it's probably 4 ton wheat at least, maybe 4 or 5 ton, and there's no fertilizer was put here, and it still looks pretty good, I would say. Pretty good for organic wheat. The rest looks on both sides, it's so obviously crap. But it will be very interesting to see the bigger field, like what the wheat yields. For the oat we got maybe, on average of the both fields, we probably got like 2.5 ton is probably pretty close to the truth. So that was really bad. The wheat probably will do something similar. Maybe the wheat might be better even. Yeah, it's probably, you have probably a little bit better weather there. Yeah, conventional. But then organically you can probably get, well, it depends. You can get the same thing like organically too if you have a lot of organic, or if you put on a lot of organic fertilizer, then you can pretty much reach up to the same levels, maybe a little bit lower. But yeah, for oats, one year when it rained actually a little bit, then we got on average 6 ton per hectare from oats, and there was no fertilizer put on that and no spraying. So yeah, if every year would be like that, it would be okay, but that was 2020. And after that it's been more or less dry every year. But yeah, weather is what weather is. I can show you the irrigation equipment I have. Garden hose plus a little thing big enough to irrigate the garden and the potatoes and everything here, but definitely not big enough to irrigate the bigger fields. But the small patch we saw there, with this guy I was able to get that to look good. It like sprays out of these holes and then the bar moves like back and forth. That's why the garden looks pretty good. Here we had definitely enough water. Everything grew pretty well in the garden. Do we have your own well? Yeah, we have our own well. I can even show you here. It's like a groundwater well, so the water from there is it's really clean. So below there's like I think they drilled down like 30 meters into the bedrock, and then there's like a pipe going down. And then this, but don't confuse this pump, this is just for looks. Nothing happens from that one. The pump there is just for looks. Like the pipe goes on up, then there's a pipe underground that goes into the basement, and there's the pump. This pump here is only for show, but in the basement there's a pump that actually pumps water from the well. So it's a well, but it's also a fake well. both things at the same time. But yeah, that well, I don't know, like when you start irrigating big fields, you need like thousands of cubic meters of water. I don't know if that well can provide that much. It can for sure provide like 5 to 10 cubic meters per day. But you're not irrigating fields with that amount. You need much more. Everything frost proof for sure. In the winter there will be could be 1 meter of snow on top of the well there. So all the pipes and everything, it has to be at least a meter inside the ground. So nothing breaks when it gets cold. Must be permitted. I don't think you need permission here. I mean, if there would be like a big lake somewhere here, I don't think I would need a permission or any permit for it. I'm not sure, but I don't think so. Like if you have a big river, you could just pump it out, I think. I mean, for sure, if you have a well. Yeah, I don't think I would need a permission. I mean, I'm not 100% sure because field irrigation, it's pretty rare in Finland. I know some farmers have done it, but it's pretty uncommon still. Mostly it's people who maybe grow like strawberries or more valuable crops per hectare. Then it makes more sense to irrigate because then the irrigation cost is like smaller in comparison to what you get from the crop. Like with oats, wheat, stuff like that, the crop isn't worth that much per hectare, so you can't spend like thousands and thousands on irrigation because then it's like it doesn't really make financially any sense. But yeah, if every year is just like this year, then you have to really hardly think about irrigation because this year is like, yeah, really crappy. Very dry. I think in the growing season of May, June, July, I think we got in total for 3 months, we got probably about 100 millimeters of rain. And I would say normal is maybe probably 200 to 300 millimeters. So very small amounts of rain. And then it was also really hot all the time, so that's why the crop here looks like crap. And then the worst field has to be right here by the farm, so you can see it every time you're at the farm. Really hope it's gonna be better next year. Otherwise I will have to irrigate this small field here just to make it look better. It's not nice to look at a horrible field like this the whole summer. Yeah, it really depends, like so usually we don't get enough rain here in the growing months, but if I look at the whole year, then we get more rain per year than what the crops need during the summer. So in a way it's not a problem, but the problem is that most of the rain comes during late fall and winter. And then when you would need water in the summer, then it's always really dry. So I guess we need to start to dig like a big pond somewhere here and then store all the spring melt water and then use that as irrigation water. I mean, that would probably work at somehow, but yeah, it's a big cost to dig a big pond. build a dam, yeah, or a lake. It could be possible to do it somewhere. But yeah, we'd have to do some calculations on how big it needs to be. I think it needs to be pretty damn big. Need a lot of water to irrigate fields. Unfortunately, there is no lake or big river close to here. Like the closest lake is 5 kilometers away, and that's too far away to build like a pipe or something. But if you would be like in Finland, we have a lot of lakes, but right here there's no lakes or big rivers. $200, 400 millimeters per square meter. I don't know, like it's like I yeah, I mean, if you say it like that, it's like we always say like 20 millimeters. That means like, yeah, if you get 20 millimeters, it's like 2 centimeters of rain everywhere. That's like how we say it. I know in some places they say like liters per square meter, but here we usually use millimeters. So then 20 millimeters of rain would be like 2 centimeters of rain, like everywhere. But yeah, you need a lot for 36 hectares. If you do 36 hectares, that's like 360,000 square meters times 0.02 meters. That's how many cubic meters for one irrigation. Then you probably, like that small bit there, I irrigated it I think 4 times. So, oh man, it's gonna be a lot of cubic meters. 7,200 could be right. Then that times 4. Yeah, 28,000 cubic meters. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot of liquids, a lot of water. And then you would need some pipes because we have like 3 fields are here, but then 1 field is over there, like half a kilometer, and then a couple more are a little bit in a different place. So then you would need to get the water to all those fields. All the fields aren't like exactly in one spot, so. Yeah, I'm gonna look at the rain radar. It's really windy now, so usually if it gets really windy, then it might rain afterwards. And there was a little forecast today that there might be a little bit of rain today. Not much, but we'll see. Checking rain radar. Nothing super close yet. It's raining a little bit more north. It's raining, but here in southern Finland, it's not raining, at least yet. So that's good. One hectare surface of the pond and 3 meters deep. That's a big, that's a lot to dig. That's a lot to dig. Like this small field here, that's wheat, that's right in front here. This is 1.4 hectares. So I would have to dig this whole field, or a big portion of it, down 3 meters. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It would, even if you have a huge excavator, it would take a long time. Which rain radar do I use? Let me see. I think it's called like, what, Rain Man? No, not Rain Man. Sataako.fi. That has a pretty good radar, I think. Or at least the best I've found. The Foreca rain radar is completely BS. It's the worst ever. I guess Ilmatieteen laitos, they have a decent one, but it doesn't go forward too much. But yeah, Sataako.fi, that's the one I use. It's pretty accurate. The excavated earth has to go somewhere. Yeah. I would have to put it on top of other fields or something. Like, it would be a huge project. But yeah, I've seen like in United States they use quite a bit of irrigation. Like you can, if you see on Google Earth, you can see a lot of those crop circles, or where the crop is grown in like an exact circle. Then they have the center pivot, I think they call the irrigation thing. It's like a boom that goes around like if you have in a clock, it spins like around. I think that they must have like a well then in the middle of the field, so they'd probably drill down for groundwater. But yeah, it must be somehow profitable what they do in the United States. Like they have those center pivot things, and then they pretty much grow like crops in almost like in a desert. But yeah, I don't know if they get do they get some subsidies or something for the irrigation devices, maybe. But yeah, for sure it would take a long time to, if it pays off, then it would take a long time. So getting a well done, and then some sort of irrigation device from that, I think that probably, like, it has to pay off, because they do it, at least in the United States, they do it a bunch. So it's got to be somewhat profitable at least. But yeah, not a lot of irrigation is done here yet. Just a little bit. Yeah, I've seen those kinds, because yeah, like if you have a center pivot thing, then it will always irrigate like a circle. But I mean, most fields are not circles. They're probably closer to rectangles. So yeah, probably some sort of, yeah, they have like I seen like other type is like it's like a long irrigation boom, and then that like travels over the field like this, like very slowly, and then it sprays out water everywhere. Yeah, because yeah, most fields are, at least here and other places. Most fields are rectangular or roughly rectangular at least. But yeah, I think like today was just a little shorter stream. I had some small projects to do, and you saw how when the grain was in the cold air dryer there. But we'll see the next days. I think the wheat harvest will probably start maybe next week. We'll see. We'll have to go look at the big field, see how the wheat looks, and then it depends on the rain. But yeah, before that we will also, like the grain is now in the cold air dryer. It can stay there for a little bit now. And then at some point we will move it from there to the hot air dryer. So that will happen before we harvest any wheat. But yeah, thanks for watching today. A little bit of a shorter stream. But I will be back again next time. Thanks for watching. Take care. See you later.